What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? The red light is on. Dave Van Auken here. Very pumped and excited. I talk to this guy all the time, but it never fades on me to, I'm always excited to talk to him. I have this little artwork thing that I made and can't wait to kind of share with everyone. I'm not just saying it because I'm going to talk to him and have him on the show. And his nickname is Beast. So I think he'll kind of take care of me if we ever went at it. But I really think 2022, we're going to look back at it, and every year seems like a fighter every now and then, every year has this big pop breakthrough year. And I think in 2022, absolutely, not a shadow of a doubt, I think the breakthrough fighter in the UFC will be Mike BeastBoy Davis. I'm really excited to talk to him, pumped for the year 2022, and we're going to bring him on right now. Let's get it. Mike, what's up?
Man, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, bro. How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling good. Excited that the new year has started. Keeping up on my resolutions. I'm changing my habits a lot. So I'm excited. I did hear you say I was going to be the breakthrough fighter of the year. And I feel like I'm going to follow through with that.
Yeah. It seems sometimes some things kind of come together, right? You know what I mean? Some years and some stuff. And I think this year coming up is going to be big. I really do. I just think everything I've talked to you about, healthy, ready to go. You just got out of practice. It was Mako Monday.
Yeah, Mako Mondays. My God.
I just think everything will line up. I think it's going to be a big, big year. I talk about that Mason Jones fight. I think that's one of the most slept on fights like in a long time. That fight was insane. It was bananas.
It was that was a good fight. I remember getting offered to some guy. At first, it wasn't even Mason Jones. It was someone named Jones Mason. And I was like, oh, sure, that's whatever. He was like, oh, no, he was like on a 4-fight losing streak. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is going to be a wash. Just going to go in there, make a quick paycheck and go home. And then after I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like 2 days later, they're like, oh, the name was backwards. It's Mason Jones, this guy, 10-0. I was like, I still don't care. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It turned out to be an amazing fight. And I'm definitely one of the fights that I learned what I'm capable of. It opened my eyes to my comfort in the UFC.
For sure. I think hopefully it opened a lot of eyes that people that maybe were, just didn't really know everything about Mike Davis. I think that was an eye opener for sure. One thing I kind of want to jump into kind of about that fight as well. And I talked to someone, and I'll tell you the name off air, a friend of both of ours. And he goes, one thing he loves watching Mike fight, right? Like Mike, when he even throws a jab or when he throws a 1-2 combo, he's not throwing it to kind of see where the other person's at, or he's not throwing it to just to kind of touch him. He throws it to fucking knock people out. Like you throw punches to fucking destroy folks, to murk guys. So he's like, dude, he's like, you're just a guy to always bet on. You're always a guy to always have to watch because you kind of, when you go into that cage, it's like this violency that not a lot of people fight with. And I know that might sound corny or some might sound off to other people because it's a fight, but you fight in a different way. You fight violently.
I never thought I fought violently. This is the first time I think I'm hearing that.
Really?
Oh, no, because when I'm in the cage, I'm 100% not throwing with intent, like, to knock you out because I get tired. I'll get tired. My arms are heavy. I'm lean. So I have like a lot of lactic acid buildup.
Okay.
And it wears me out really fast. So I throw a lot of like accurate punches. So, and they connect. But when I know they're going to connect, which is where you get into this level, is that I can see my opening. So I know they're going to connect. And that's when I throw like a 75%. And if I really know I'm going to hit this punch, I'll throw it 100%.
So how many 100% punches do you think you throw in a round?
In a round, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, the rest are like 75. Like I know they're gonna land, but it's gonna be blocked a little bit, and I know it's gonna wear me out if I throw it too much. So I throw them like 75%. There's never a point in a fight where I'm like really throwing everything I have.
That's crazy.
In the Mason Jones fight, I think I threw maybe 7 punches at 100%. Wow. Like with intent to try and knock him out.
This is so good. I love this. I don't know. We didn't know we were going to go this route. I love it. It's so, used to play basketball way heyday, I think, before all these kids and before all this crap. But It kind of reminds me of, you can't, like, people always say, oh, just drive to the rim and get to the hole. But like, it's hard. And you put all this energy moving and weaving and get to the rim. Sometimes it's okay to shoot a 20-footer in the basketball game. And that's how it kind of sounds like that's the analogy of the fight game. You want to make sure you do connect and you don't leave these big openings and gaps. And like you said, you can't throw 100%. You'd just be tired. You would be dead. Second round.
You'll be dead in the second round.
Yeah.
I watch fighters go in there that throw with 100% intent throughout the whole first round, and you'll see that by like 3 minutes in, they're already gassing.
Right. Man, that's cool. Okay. All right. So a couple things. One is, so they were off. The UFC was off for Christmas, New Year's. They're off this first week of January. So we're a week away from the first fight week of the year and the first fight week in a month. So people are super excited for it, of course. And then the main event's awesome. The main event is like, it's a really good fight. And then also, to me, it's right up Mike Davis's alley. Giga Chikadze, who you've kind of been booked 2-3 times with almost, and it just almost happened. Now it's like, in a weird way, it's like a dream fight. It's like, I cannot wait in 3 years when Mike Davis and Giga fights for the title. I always thought it was you and Sadiq that I was like, oh, I can't wait for that fight. Huh?
I thought the same thing. It would be me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then now it could be you and Giga. Like 3 years from now, it could be like you and Giga, big time title match. So with that being said, are you going into the fight? I would love your take on it. Who do you think on it? To me, Calvin's the more of a boxer, more of a heavy, bigger puncher. Giga, of course, kickboxing and more accuracy, more of that nature. I would love your take on that fight.
I think Giga will win because of the movement. But if Kattar, or right, as I say his name?
Calvin Kattar.
If Kattar can utilize boxing, keep forward pressure, because Giga has to have space. He's a kickboxer and he's a long range fighter. He has to have space. So if Giga, Kattar can keep the boxing and dirty boxing, stay in close range, but he has to mix it up. I don't get why people are trying to strike with a striker. Mix it up.
Right.
Take him. Right. Barbosa tried to strike with Giga the whole time. Take him down. He's a blue belt. Take him down.
That's a great point for one. And then I think this is a little thing people are sleeping on a little bit right now is that, and then, you could probably talk to this too. Giga, that Giga versus Barbosa was the biggest fight of his career. But that was like, he's had one. Calvin fought Max Holloway in huge main events. I think Calvin had like 3 out of the last 4 were big 5-round main events. So I think Calvin's been there before. And then Calvin was off the whole year. He had that bad fight against Max, did not go his way for 25 minutes of hell. But he's been off for a year. Tough. I think he's going to come in focused, energy, just kind of rejoice, renewed, all that. Like Giga, this is a big spot for Giga, and I think that kind of gets the mind of a fight and the mind of a fighter. I think that can go.
His first main event.
The Barbosa was a main event.
Yeah, it was a main event. Okay.
Yeah, it was. That was his first one. This is his second. But and as much as I'm a Barbosa guy, I think Calvin's right now a bigger name in 2022 than Barbosa was last year. So I think this is the biggest fight of Giga's life. I'm throwing that out there.
100%.
Yeah. So I think this kid, the pressure can be more on Giga. Like he's even the betting favorite. He's supposed to win this fight. And I think Calvin can really show some people. I really do. Okay. I think this is an upset written over it.
Okay.
But if you had to pick winner, you got Giga, or you think Calvin can do enough to maybe take down the blue belt?
I think Giga's going to win.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. $1?
$1? Let's go. All right.
Okay. $100? No. All right. Another one I want to talk to you about that was just announced literally hours ago. I probably will release this in the next day, so it might be a tad, not just hours away. Sadiq Youssef just got booked. What's his name? Alex. It's the cry. He's on that winning streak. Casillas.
Oh, okay. He's on 5-5.
Black Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy. So I like that fight a lot too, because he's been on fire. Really kind of a little bit. You ready for this? My little analogy is like Charles Oliveira. Like he win one, lose one, win one, lose one for a long time. Then all of a sudden something flipped. Maybe a training camp. Maybe his body got bigger. Whatever. He's on a winning streak. Super confident right now.
Oh yeah. So and he just won the Fury this weekend.
Yeah.
December 30th. He just submitted that dude in Fury.
Dude, like that was.
He looked great.
He really does. He just looks different. Like he looks different from what he did 2-3 years ago. And Sadiq, who we have a lot of respect for on this podcast, I knew you as well. I think that's a tighter matchup than people think.
I think so. I think Sadiq has too much power.
Too much power.
Yeah, I think he has too much power. But Caceres, right? That's his last name.
Caceres. There you go. Caceres.
If it's the mix, I've really come to my home as a mixed martial artist where I fight to mix it up. So if Sadiq or either one of them mixes it up, it's going to make the fight really interesting. But I feel like Sadiq is more based on just swinging punches. I feel like he is just all punches.
Yeah, I think like you said, with the too much power shot, I think Alex can be very kind of like a bug, just very just in and out, leg kick, short elbow, in, out, then do the grappling game. Let's go. Let's try to get the neck. I think he can just move it up. It was just one of those things. As soon as it was announced, I looked at him like, wow, I thought Sadiq would get a bigger name or a higher ranked opponent. But then like the more it sat on me, it's been literally an hour, 2 hours. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Caceres.
Caceres came all the way to 15. After they were feeding him to Hooper, hoping that was his last fight. Hooper would take him out.
Okay.
But he beat Hooper.
Yep.
And then he hasn't lost since.
Right.
So he's just been changed his game. He was about to get kicked out of the UFC. Now he's in top 15.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's earned the spot to fight Sadiq. Definitely.
Yeah. Very Charles Oliveira-ish. I'm telling you, Olives was like, I remember one of those fights, like he lost, and we were kind of like, I know that I'm not trying to be mean here, and we have a lot of friends in Bellator. I know you as well, and train with people. But sometimes when you're in the UFC and you kind of win one, lose 1, 2 in a row, you're like, oh, if he's one loss away from going to Bellator, it's kind of like an inside joke. I know that sounds mean. I'm not trying to, but like Oliveira was like one loss away from going to Bellator, and now he's like insanely just pound for pound, you can argue he's a top 3 fighter in the world right now. He's that hot.
Oh yeah.
Is he in your weight class?
Oliveira?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, you're a 155er?
I just spoke to Abe about, because they've been looking for a 145 for me, but I feel like that's very hard for me to do right now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just mentally not prepared to cut to 45. So I told them to switch and to find me at 55. And I'll do another 1 or 2 at 55 and see how my body recoups. And then if it's good, if I'm clear, I'll go back to 45.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just switch in between the two. But right now, I like 55. I'm like 15 pounds away from it. It's an easy cut. It's great.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool, fun topic too, especially if you're going to be fighting guys outside 15, right? Outside the top 15, 155 in a way makes more sense. You know what I mean? It's like when you're fighting, they start throwing you guys, let's just go in that top 5, 7, Darush and Islam, of course, Charles Chandler, Gate, all that stuff. And then it's like, okay, maybe, your body changes and you get just, you're a veteran more of the sport, or then maybe it's that transfer to 145.
I think that's what I think. Man. I think climbing up to the rankings is better for me at 55. There's a lot more opponents. I have more power here. Once you get to the top rankings in the 55 division, those guys are cutting from like 190. They're just too much. That's too much. So I might make the cut down when I get up there.
Poirier's kind of talking about. He's like he's been saying like I'm done at 55. Like I just don't want to do that shit anymore. He's got so much money now with all those Conor fights. It's like he's gonna be a welterweight. Like to me, he's pulling the Masvidal.
He's gonna go to welterweight.
Oh, he is.
He's going to welterweight.
Got the inside scoop, Mike Davis.
He talked about it. I think he talked about it.
He did. So who are you wrestling with today?
Masvidal, and Sid, and Mike Brown. Oh my God, these guys are all Johnny Eblin.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's so good.
He's good. He's so huge too. Like I always like he's light heavyweight, but he's like humongous, right?
He's like 196, 197 right now. But these are the people I'm playing with. Yeah, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny, but he fights at middleweight then?
Does he? I don't know what he fights at.
Someone told me he's like huge for his weight. You know what I mean? Like you would not think he's that weight class. And Sid's another one. I thought I saw something about Sid he's like one fight away from fighting for the Bellator title.
Yeah, he's ranked number 1. He's ranked, and Sid is very, very good on the ground. So good.
Remember he fought for Island Fights that one night? It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And Sidney Outlaw was like on the first fight. He's like on the prelims of Island Fights. Crazy shit. Crazy. So you mentioned at the very beginning, at the very top of this, kind of throughout 2022 and resolutions and stuff like that. Is it more personal, more about, just Mike Davis, the person, or do you have like fight, MMA and fighter resolutions?
I have kind of everything. The resolutions that I want to do now, I want to be more active. I'm sick of this COVID stuff, and it's putting me out for 2020. Put me out for a year because of COVID. 2021 put me out I was out because of suspension for 6 months, so I couldn't fight until August. And then I've been asking since August, and I have not gotten a single name. And this is since August, so I don't know. I want to be way more active in 2020.
Yeah. And it's so funny when Phil and Jillian Savage Robertson and a lot of names that we know, Steve Mowry, a lot of people, that we know and in that area as well too, all got on a Fury card. And I remember you saying that, and especially to me, we talked off there about it. Like, you're like, dude, I would love to do more grappling events. I'm like, dude, put Mike Davis.
So then I did. I reached out to a bunch of grappling events. I believe I'm doing submission grappling in February up in Orlando.
Okay.
I believe I'm doing Fight to Win next Friday in Miami.
Okay.
I think they just got me an opponent, so that's great.
That's good.
I'm trying to get on Fury, of course. The next Fury they have coming up, I would love to be on there. I'm just gonna start being more active. I'm gonna start doing some stuff. I'm a great grappler. I know people don't know that, but I'm a great grappler.
Right. Everyone thinks of you as a boxer.
Yeah, everyone does. Because my striking, I come from a boxing background initially, but I focus so much on grappling that I can compete with all the black belts. I consider myself a black belt. So it's perfect. It's grappling. Let's go.
I love it. And like, when people, that whole kind of, they speak it into existence and all that stuff, it's just one of those things too. The more active you are and you get on a poster, a Fury poster, or you get on a grapple thing, it's just weird. I know it sounds, people see you and I don't know, Mick sees you or whatever it is.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my name seen in 2022.
Yeah, it just kind of gets going. It just builds. How short notice? Last question. I got 5 fun questions for you going bananas, and then we'll let you run. How short notice would you take a fight versus the 23rd guy? Not versus Gaethje. Just say Gaethje and someone else gets lined up. You're like, no, I'm Gaethje in a week and a half. Maybe you won't take. But if you took the 34th guy, how much? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Is that enough? Or
I feel like right now I am in fight shape. The only thing I need is cardio. So you give me 2 weeks of training to boost, to like just focus strictly on cardio, and I'll be great.
2 weeks. Okay. I like it. Let me make a call. I'll make a call.
I need 2 weeks of cardio. So technically it would be like 3 weeks, because 2 weeks of training and then 1 week, you have to travel and go.
Yeah, the whole. It's so funny. I just talked to Jillian about that. When she went out there 3 weeks ago, whatever. Like, no one thinks about that. Last week is literally traveling to Vegas, doing media.
You don't really get to do anything.
Weight cut last day, and that's it. Now they're letting people do whatever. Now you're with COVID, they let you go out of the room. It's funny.
I think when it's fight week, most of my training is random in like the middle of the night.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. 5 questions. You ready?
Go ahead.
First thing comes to your head. First one, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
At the moment, I would go back to Thailand, because Thailand was amazing. That trip was the best place I've ever been to in my life. But I feel like I fit into Japan. I'm a nerd. I like technology. The anime is everywhere. I feel like Japan's my home place that I haven't been yet.
That's a great answer. That's a good answer. So the most interesting person you have ever talked to?
Oh, I don't know if I can answer that. I have no idea.
No?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. How about what's one of your favorite locker room stories?
I don't know that one either. I don't know. Those are hard questions. Those need thought.
Yeah. Okay. Next time I'll be like, instead of going bananas, be like thinking about bananas or something. I gotta change it. This should be an easy one. This is up your alley. Who is your first celebrity crush?
Miley Cyrus, I think.
That's a good one.
No.
All right. And then some fight prediction question, something we didn't even get into at all. 2-3 weeks from now, UFC 270 heavyweight championship on the line. You got the interim champion Cyril Gane, undefeated as a mixed martial artist, versus Francis Ngannou, who's just this huge mega man, a superhero-like fighter. You got Francis or you got Cyril Gane?
I saw Francis post something about how he's like playing around while he's sparring and he's not really going hard as he can or using all his, I don't know how his grappling plays in because you never really get to see him grapple. But I know that Carlisle mixes up a lot. So I don't know how to rule that one. I want to see Francis Ngannou grapple and wrestle and stuff. But right now I think I'm going to go with Carlisle.
Cyril Gane.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cyril.
I think I'm with you. It's Gane can win 5 different ways: unanimous decision, knockout, TKO, ground and pound, submission, leg kick, maybe something gnarly there. Francis can win, you think, of an overhand right.
Punch.
But he can't do it. He's like the greatest at it. He's like, it's kind of hard to bet against it. If you really bet money, you'd be biting your fingernails for 25 minutes.
Was it Derek Lewis that he knocked out in the first, like really fast?
Rosenstruck.
See, when he fought him, I swear he like threw one punch to avoid another punch and then just kept swinging. And eventually one of them just hit.
What bits? He's crazy. Oh my
There's
goodness.
no technique at all. He's just swinging random punches and one of them hit him and knocked him completely out. And I was like, oh my God.
Man, Mike Brown should be training that. Let's train like Francis Ngannou at American Top Team.
No. Very technical there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Mike BeastBoy Davis, the year of 2022. The breakthrough begins very early in the year, man. Enjoy yourself. Can't wait. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully we're going to see you even sooner, man. Hopefully we'll see you in the Orlando, Daytona area, brother.
Oh, yeah. So I do have to make that announcement. It's about time.
Okay.
My mother has come down with COVID and she is recouping. She's doing good, but I would like to be closer to her as these days are hard. Like inflation, money's hard, everything's hard right now. So I want to move up to Orlando to be closer to my mom. And I guess I will be joining a gym up there, Fusion. It will be my new gym for the next year, apparently. And I will start that February 1st or 9th, around that time.
There we go.
So I will be joining the Orlando group again. Coming back.
There we go, man. That's awesome, bro. Well, congrats on that. It just something about Mike Davis, Orlando, Florida. I don't know, has a ring to it.
It's where I started it all. That's literally where I started everything. Team Noguera is where I started down here in Florida.
Yeah, crazy.
It'll be good to be home.
There we go, man. So excited. Appreciate you. Let's talk soon. Maybe let's talk after the Giga Calvin fight. Always love talking to you, Mike. The Breakthrough Fighter 2022, Mike BeastBoy Davis.
I'm glad to have that title.
There you go.